Yo, what is good, lads? Welcome back to the channel. And lasses, if there's any of you watching. And today I want to talk about Battlefield 1 because all people seem to think I dislike is Call of Duty. There's other shooters I dislike. There's tons of other shooters I dislike. Tons of others that I don't think are as good as Call of Duty, but Call of Duty is at the forefront of FPS games, so it makes sense to talk about Call of Duty, seeing as it's my favourite FPS franchise of all time, probably bar Battlefield. And what I want to talk about in particular is Battlefield 1 being overhyped. Now, with all the controversy surrounding Infinite Warfare, around the same time Battlefield 1 launched, and it launched to critical success from fans and from critics. And I think the game was just covered in gold dust because people hated Infinite Warfare so much. People thought, what's the next closest thing to Call of Duty, and what would piss off Activision the most? Battlefield. Well, that's what everybody thought. Jump over to Battlefield, will piss off Activision, will piss off Infinity Ward, and it'll be a fucking amazing game. Battlefield 1 is a good game. Do not get me wrong. It's a good, enjoyable game. But it's the most overhyped Battlefield game ever, by a long run. Battlefield 3 is better, Battlefield Bad Company 2 is a better game, Battlefield 4 is a better game, Battlefield 1943 is a better game. There's so many better Battlefield games than Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 is the least innovative out of every single Battlefield since 2012. Yet it's had the most praise and the most critical success simply from riding off Call of Duty's coattails. Now, all the Battlefield fanboys are going to hate me for this. I love Battlefield, I love Call of Duty, but let's be honest. COD sells miles more copies, it's a much more successful game, and the worst Call of Duty still outsold Battlefield 1. But Battlefield 1's success and sales skyrocketed when people wanted to hate Call of Duty. So it got successful off Call of Duty being shit. If there was another shit Call of Duty this year, and Battlefield launches a game, this is their strategy, boys. Call of Duty will launch a trailer, people, they'll hate it or they'll love it. If they love it, Battlefield will wait. If they hate it, they'll drop a trailer like a week later with everything the players wanted, and boom, critical success. Everyone's hyped as fuck for the game, and the Battlefield hype train steamrolls on. And then if it doesn't, they kind of die in the water. I mean, Bad Company 2 was the best Battlefield, in my opinion. So don't get your panties in a twist. This is just my opinion. I think Bad Company 2 was the best. It had so much amazingness. The story was fantastic, the multiplayer was fantastic, destruction was fantastic, so many vehicles, huge maps, everything was destructible. But sales-wise, it did shit. Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, Battlefield goddamn 1, they all sold more copies than Bad Company 2, even though arguably that's the best game in the franchise. But Call of Duty had some massive titans out of that time. You're talking Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 5, it launched alongside those games and they buried it in sales, absolutely buried it. So what I want to talk about today, properly, I'll show you some gameplay of each game, show you what's been hyped up the most, what's been hyped up the least, is Battlefield. Let's get into it. What? Okay, so let's start with Battlefield Bad Company 2. This followed a group of ragtag veterans. You got Wyatt, Marlowe, Redford, Haggard, Sweetwater, many others. I'm not going to name them all, but they all had a unique quirk and a unique personality, and you remember them, much like Soap in Call of Duty and much like Captain Price. These are the rememberable Battlefield characters. You also got a one-off mission at the beginning, which is what you're watching now, back in World War II, which was to sort of explain what happened later in the game. And I want to ask you all a question, and I want you to answer honestly in the comment section. Do you remember the characters' names from Battlefield 1? Nothing else, just answer honestly below your first guess without googling it, without going on the wiki page. Just write down below what they were called, if you can remember. Arguably, as of yet, no other Battlefield game has had the same just progression of the characters that Bad Company 2 had. Battlefield 3 didn't have it, Battlefield 4 didn't have it. They were one and done games. Like, Battlefield 4 had no progression from Battlefield 3, there was none of the same characters. That's what goes for all the Battlefield games. Unless the Bad Company, none of them link up whatsoever. And this is what I believe is holding Battlefield back. If they linked up the games, made them sequels, put in the same characters, like they did with Bad Company 2, which sold a shitload more units than the original Bad Company, it'd be a lot more successful. people would want to come back and remember their favourite characters. So I'm going to be honest. I bought Modern Warfare 3 because I wanted to see what happened. I loved the characters in the original Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. Soap, you followed his story, and then when he died in Modern Warfare 3, it was like a stab in the fucking heart. That shit was painful. And then when you finally kill Makarov in Modern Warfare 3, so damn fulfilling, boys. So damn fulfilling. I'd not been fulfilled like that in a long time for a video game. Well, let's be honest.
Ha! Gay!
Now, one of the reasons Bad Company 2 didn't do great sales-wise was because Black Ops launched in the same year. All the kids, I mean, I was a kid back then, we were saving money. We were saving money for Call of Duty like I used to do every year. But me, being the smart kid I was, I sold my old games and purchased Bad Company 2 second-hand a couple months after it came out. Got it for like £20. And it was damn well one of the best purchases I've ever fucking made. I've never had more fun on any other Battlefield game than I have on Bad Company 2. The destruction of the environments, the character progression in the single player was fantastic. The fact you could change weapons on the fly when you reach these supply drop points. There was so much to love about the game. The explosions were the best part. The destruction has gone down with the better equipment and gear we've got now in 2018. Battlefield 1 has probably the least destructible environments out of any Battlefield game ever. And if you're a Battlefield newbie, you're thinking, how the fuck does it not have much destruction? Go back, watch videos on Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 4 and look at how the destruction has gone backwards. It went from Bad Company 2 then to Battlefield 3, and Battlefield 3 was awful for destruction. Graphics, best we've ever seen on a console. Absolutely fantastic. Shooting mechanics, great. Campaign was pretty good. I can't remember much of it, but I remember being blown away at the time. But again, no, you didn't see the characters in Battlefield 4. All new damn characters. And the problem with all the Battlefield games in general is they try and take different routes. They can't make their mind up, DICE that is, of what they want the single player to be. Whether they want a strong story driven experience or they want big open world explorable zones or they want choices in the campaign. They can't make their mind up. Battlefield 4 had choices. Battlefield 3 was very linear. Bad Company 2 had some pretty big open spaces. You could change weapons on the fly, and they changed this formula with every single release, holding the game back. They need to make their mind up, and they need to make their mind up pronto on what they want the Battlefield games to be, single player wise. Which is why 90% of people who buy Battlefield literally say, I'm not buying for the single player. I'm never going to touch the single player. I'm buying it for the multiplayer. That's not a mentality you want around your game when it's your strongest IP. This is EA's strongest IP, bar FIFA and bar the sports games. Okay, now I'm going to play the Battlefield 3 multiplayer launch trailer. See how hyped people got for this. I was so damn hyped. The main selling point of Battlefield is vehicular combat and destruction. This game had vehicular combat, destruction, not so much. And what does Battlefield 1 lack? Vehicles. It's World War 1. Sure, that was a huge seller just because everyone hated Infinite Warfare, but the replayability is not there. There's no cool parachutes, there's no cool future tech. And that's what Battlefield players want. That's what's been the staple of the franchise, the modern combat. Not the futuristic shit, modern. Modern weapons, you got your cool parachutes, you got your RPGs, you got a vast array of weapons, you got airline ships. You've got all this cool stuff, and they threw that down the drain with Battlefield 1. Yeah, they got a lot of sales at the beginning, but now the game's dead. The game is dead on PC with less than 10,000 concurrent players. Sure, it's alive and well on PlayStation 4, but if you try and find a game on Origin off peak times, you're going to struggle, especially with the DLC, because they did the season pass bullshit again. So try and find someone who's got the DLC. You'll fucking struggle. I simply don't play Battlefield 1 because I struggle to find people to play with. Because I don't like playing at peak times. I don't have the time to. I work 40 hours a week and I can't find a match. You never had that problem with Battlefield Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. Even though they sold less copies, they had more concurrent players because they had a strong fan base and they weren't appealing to the COD fan base. I mean, you've seen how easily pleased COD fanboys are They'll come and go as they please. They'll jump back and forward from COD and Battlefield, back and forward, back and forward. Whereas before they had a strong, hardcore fan base, and they kind of just fucked that off just to appeal to the more mainstream audience and get this bullshit microtransaction wheel rolling. The simplest way to put it is, with Battlefield 1, it's like DICE looked at the drawing board and went, what makes Battlefield a great game? And they just stripped that away. Now, I'm not hating on Battlefield 1. I think it's a good game, but I got bored after 2 weeks. Battlefield 4 had me playing for at least a year. Bad Company 2, more than that. 2-3 years. The achievements alone in the game were hilarious and funny to achieve. There was one where you jumped out of the helicopter, you got an achievement. It's called Someone's Parachute, and there was no parachutes. People were jumping out of planes and jumping out of choppers and dying instantly just to get a goddamn achievement. It made for some hilarious viewing. And if you Google that, you'll see tons of meme videos where people were doing that just to get this damn achievement. You don't see anything like that in Battlefield 1. There's no... I know they've tried going for this serious stance, but it's not what I want as a player. I want to have fun and enjoy playing, not feel bad for shooting someone. That's what they did in the Battlefield 1 single player. They push, we push, they push, we push. Every once in a while we push so hard that the light breaks through the clouds. I don't want to feel bad when I'm playing a game. I'm playing it to relax. I'm not playing it to feel sorry for people. Now, my heart goes out to everybody who lost family in World War I. But if they want to do it fully historically accurate and with no loopholes and no bullshit, don't add season passes in. Don't add guns in that weren't fully functional in World War I. But they bothered doing that, but then they tried going for this serious stance in the campaign. I didn't like it. Battlefield 4 was one of the worst campaigns as well. Bad Company 2 and Bad Company 1. Best Battlefield campaigns that's ever been made. Again, in my opinion. Now let's take a look at Battlefield 4's multiplayer release trailer. And you get to see, just from this 1 minute clip, what made Battlefield 4 so amazing. And they moved on from Battlefield 4 too fast, in my opinion. This game could have been pushed and pushed for the next 3 or 4 years and would still have a massive player count today. If they just waited and not released Battlefield 1, they could have made even more damn money by refining Battlefield 1 and adding more damn elements. I mean, this trailer does it perfectly. You've got the awesome combat, the amazing destruction, even a bit of humour sprinkled in there. Battlefield 1 doesn't have any of this. Battlefield 4's multiplayer was probably the best experience multiplayer wise Battlefield's ever had to offer. They hid tons of Easter eggs in the multiplayer. It was so much fun finding their Easter eggs, so much fun playing with your friends. The Levolution, oh my god boys, the Levolution made this game fantastic. You could take a fucking quad bike in a goddamn elevator. Neebs Gaming popularity skyrocketed after this with the amazing YouTube videos he was making for Battlefield 4, and I don't understand why EA was so quick to push this out. I mean, a year and a half and then they released Battlefield 1. Why? It's so much better than Battlefield 1. The modern setting. I'm dying for it. We wanted a World War II setting and a World War I setting. Now I'm dying for modern again. I can't deal with the old guns, boys. I want another Battlefield 4, just better. The jets, the helicopters, the tanks, the quad bikes, the amazing weaponry. No bullshit weapon variants. It's just a better game, boys. Just a better game. Held player count for much longer. It's still alive on PC today. We've got lots of free maps with it. Battlefield 1's dead on PC. There's no Levolution in Battlefield 1. And Levolution was the best selling point of Battlefield 4 for me. And surely for lots of other fans. You knowing single-handedly you could bring down a full damn building on yourself by triggering a couple of events made you want to do that in every single match. In Battlefield 1 I think, yeah, I'm going to try and bayonet somebody in this game. It's not the same, boys. It's just not. I don't want this video to go on for hours and hours and hours. I just wanted to voice my opinions. No crazy edits. No crazy footage. No crazy bullshit. And in conclusion, I do believe Battlefield 1 is the most overhyped Battlefield game in existence. Like double the amount of hype any Battlefield's ever had in the past. Solely because of the setting and that people are pissed off with Call of Duty, so it attracted so many Call of Duty fans. That is why the numbers were so big. And COD fans will love me saying that, and Battlefield fans will hate me saying that. But I'm a fan of both, so I don't give a shit what any of you think. That is the truth. Battlefield 1 sales wouldn't have been as good as they were if people weren't dying for a return to World War II. And they thought, oh, World War I's good enough, we'll jump on this. And the amazing reveal they had after Infinite Warfare was getting absolutely shit on. They were trending on Twitter like COD is over party and all these bullshit hashtags. I was part of it myself. I thought Battlefield 1 was the next coming of fucking Christ. And then when I played it, I was massively disappointed. Massively. It's a good game, don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun with the single player. But the single player was like 3 hours long. So short compared to every other Battlefield campaign in the past. Probably bar Battlefield 4. Bad Company 2 and Bad Company 1. Better campaigns and they're like 5 years older. That's crazy to me. I think the more time, the more budget you get on games, they should get better. But it just seems like every single publisher and developer just wants to slam microtransactions in it, some sort of bullshit season pass, and more ways to make money. You've got weapon variants in Battlefield 1. I fucking hate the weapon variants. They better be gone in the Battlefield this year because it's turning to Call of Duty with the bullshit weapon variants. I mean, even COD World War II doesn't have weapon variants which affect gameplay. Battlefield 1 does. And it's not that you can pay for them, even though you can. It's just the fact that they're there. It pisses me off. That's all I really want to say, boys. Let me know if you agree with me in the comment section or if you disagree with me. Again, let me know. I want to know all of your opinions, but please give a logical response. Don't just put "fuck you, faggot" in the comments like I'm getting so often when someone disagrees with my opinion. Put a valid point out, or you're just a moron who can't argue the point without trying to belittle people. I know I'm going to get shitloads of hate for this video. Whatever sort of video I do critiquing a game, saying how it can get better, I just get hate for. I mean, these people would happily eat dog shit served on a plate to them, and they'd eat that shit up and probably pay for it. That's all I want to say, boys. If you did enjoy the video, though, smash the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit dislike. Again, let me know why in the comment section. I love you all, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.
Mama call, see you on TV. Sunset shit done changed. Ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation.